humanity is no longer confined to a doorstep just 400 kilometers above Earth. It's been 54 years. Finally, someone dares to leave low Earth orbit and head toward the moon, 250,000 kilometers away. The roar of the rocket could be heard 32 kilometers away. Over 2.5 million people crowded onto Florida's beaches. Many of them cried. They weren't just watching a rocket. They were watching humanity reach for the stars again. But what can you actually see this time? That's the real point. A lot of people ask me what's different about this mission. I'll tell you, the biggest difference is that this time, you can see everything with your own eyes. In the past, space missions looked blurry, like old TV footage. But not this time. The Orion spacecraft is equipped with a brand new high-definition camera system, capable of 4K deep space live streaming. External cameras will be running 24/7. NASA and the Canadian Space Agency will broadcast the entire mission live. You can just sit at home, scroll on your phone, and watch humanity fly to the moon in real time. What does 4K mean? It's the same clarity as your home TV, but filming deep space 250,000 kilometers away. Humanity has never seen images like this before. But that's not even the most breathtaking part. The most breathtaking thing is what they're going to capture: Earthrise. You may have seen a photo, a blue Earth slowly rising above the gray lunar horizon, against the blackness of space. That photo was taken on December the 24th, 1968, during the Apollo 8 mission, when astronaut William Anders pressed the shutter. At that moment, he didn't even realize he had taken one of the most influential photographs in human history. For the first time, humanity saw how lonely, fragile, and beautiful our planet is. But that image was static. It was film. It was blurry. This time, Artemis II astronauts will capture Earthrise again with a 4K camera. Not a photo, a video, high definition, alive. You'll see Earth slowly rising above the moon in motion. 58 years ago, a blurry black and white photo changed how humanity saw itself. What will a 4K video do? I don't know, but I want to see it with my own eyes. And that's not all. They will also film the far side of the moon, the side we can never see from Earth. No atmosphere, no sound, just 3.8 billion years of craters and silence. In all of human history, only 24 people have ever seen it with their own eyes, and that was over 50 years ago. This time, people will fly to about 6,600 kilometers above the moon's far side, see it firsthand, and capture it in 4K to send back to Earth. These images may become our generation's Apollo moment. So who are these for people? Commander Reed Wiseman, 50, former ISS commander. Pilot Victor Glover, 49, former Navy pilot. He will become the first black astronaut to fly to the moon. Mission specialist Christina Koch, 47. She holds the record for the longest single spaceflight by a woman at 328 days. She will become the first woman to go to the moon. And Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen, 50. He will become the first non-American to leave low Earth orbit. For ordinary humans, for the first time, packed into a metal capsule the size of a small van, heading toward the void 250,000 kilometers away. How far is that? The International Space Station orbits 400 kilometers above Earth. Their destination is 625 times farther. It's like this. Your daily commute is 5 kilometers. Now imagine biking 3,000 kilometers to Lhasa, with no supply stations, no turning back. Once you hit the accelerator, you cannot stop. So what are they going to do? Why not land on the moon? This mission is called Artemis II. The spacecraft is Orion. They won't land. They will just orbit the moon once. Why? Because this is a test flight. In 2022, Artemis I was uncrewed. It tested the rocket and spacecraft. This time, humans are on board. They're testing whether humans can survive in deep space. Life support, radiation protection, communication, navigation, and the part that worries everyone most, the heat shield. All of these systems are being tested in real deep space conditions, with real people. If this mission succeeds, Artemis III will attempt the actual moon landing. NASA plans to return humans to the lunar surface by 2028. But before that, someone has to test the road. They are the ones taking that risk. So why has no one gone back for 54 years? Most people think it's because of technology. Wrong. It's because it's too expensive, too difficult, and too dangerous. The Apollo program burned through the equivalent of about $1.5 trillion today. Each launch was like strapping astronauts onto a giant bomb and throwing it into the sky. Apollo 13 almost didn't make it back. The whole world watched for days, not knowing if those 3 astronauts would survive. After the Cold War ended, no one wanted to spend that kind of money anymore. So humanity stayed in low Earth orbit for half a century, pretending we were still exploring the universe. Until now, China's lunar program has been accelerating. Chang'e 6 has already brought samples back from the far side of the moon. The US couldn't sit still anymore, so the Artemis program was restarted. This time, they don't just want to visit, they want to stay, build bases, and eventually go to Mars. But do you know the most dangerous part of this mission? It's not the launch, not Earthrise. Not even the far side of the moon. It's coming home. After flying around the moon, they will use its gravity like a slingshot to fling the spacecraft back toward Earth. The trajectory is a figure 8, relying entirely on the gravitational pull of Earth and the moon. This is called a free return trajectory. Even if the engine fails, they can drift back by inertia. That's how Apollo 13 survived. But there's a problem. When they pass behind the moon, they will lose all contact with Earth for 30 to 50 minutes. No communication, no commands, nothing. The entire world can only hold its breath and wait. Then comes the real test. Their re-entry speed, 40,000 kilometers per hour, the fastest in human spaceflight history. What does that mean? Beijing to Shanghai is about 1,000 kilometers. A plane takes 2 hours. They'll cover it in 90 seconds. At that speed, re-entering the atmosphere will heat the spacecraft to nearly 3,000 degrees Celsius, hotter than lava, hotter than the melting point of most metals. The only thing protecting them is the heat shield. But here's the problem. The heat shield had issues before. After Artemis I returned in 2022, engineers found over 100 spots where material had chipped off, not evenly burnt, but flaking off like cracked biscuits. NASA spent 4 years investigating. They didn't replace the shield. Instead, they changed the re-entry angle to be steeper, reducing exposure time. Engineers say it should work, but no one dares to say they are 100% certain. The NASA administrator said, "Human spaceflight will always carry risk, but some risks are worth taking." So those 4 people will sit behind a heat shield that once failed, racing back at 40,000 kilometers per hour, making a gamble. If they win, in 10 days, they will land in the Pacific Ocean, becoming the first humans in 54 years to return from the moon. If they lose, they will become a streak of light in the atmosphere. And finally, a side note. People often ask, what's the meaning of exploring the moon? The answer was already given in 1968. Astronaut Anders said, the most valuable discovery of going to the moon was not the moon itself, but seeing Earth on the way back. For the first time, humanity saw our shared home clearly, a blue marble suspended in the void. This time, Artemis II's astronauts will capture Earth again in 4K. Not to prove who is stronger, but to remind us that humanity has never been willing to stay confined in one place. And that blue planet is the reason we dare to journey outward. In 10 days, we wait for them to come home.